dryers are used for a lot more things than just drying hair, so the question is this $16 hairdryer just as good as the one that cost over $400? Well, let's find out. In the first test, we'll see which blow dryer makes the most heat and airspeed. Then we'll see which one dries hair the fastest. We'll also see which blow dryer does the best job at drying a towel. At a price of only $16, the least expensive hairdryer we'll be testing is made by Revlon. It claims it delivers up to 1,875 watts of heat. It has a ceramic coating that distributes the heat evenly. 3 heat settings and 2 speed settings. The Revlon is made in China, and the Revlon weighs 422 grams. Let's go ahead and measure the noise level of the air blowers from 12 inches from the sound meter. And it's 85.3 decibels for the Revlon. Blow dryer manufacturers rely on marketing information to sell products. So let's see how many watts the blow dryers actually produce. On the lowest heat setting, the Revlon is at around 738 watts. It's supposed to deliver 1,875 watts on high, but it came up short at 1,712. At a price of only $19 is this Remington brand. 1,875 watts of maximum power. Offers 3 times more protection. It has 3 different heat settings and 2 speed settings. The hairdryer even has an air filter. Unleash the power of ceramic, ionic, and tourmaline technologies. Includes 2 different attachments. The Remington is made in China, and it's 458 grams for the Remington. And the Remington is a little quieter than the Revlon at 83.7 decibels. And the Remington is at just over 1,000 watts on low heat. On the highest fan speed and heat setting, the Remington is at 1,694 watts, which is less than the Revlon. At a price of $20 is this Conair brand. It's a ceramic hairdryer that features double ceramic technology, up to 1,875 watts of heat. It has 3 different heat settings and 2 different fan speeds. It has an air filter that can be removed and cleaned. The Conair does come with 1 attachment, made in China, and the Conair weighs 454 grams, and it's 83.3 decibels for the Conair. And the Conair is at 741 watts on the low heat setting. On high heat, the Conair only made it to 1,675 watts, which is about 200 watts short of its rating. At a price of $25 is this Kiss brand. It's a 1,875 watt ceramic hairdryer, 3 heat settings and 2 fan speeds. It also has a cool shot button. Includes 7 different accessories, made in China. And the Kiss is the lightest yet at only 392 grams. And the Kiss air blower makes the least amount of noise yet at 82.4 decibels. And the Kiss is at only 200 watts on low heat and about 952 watts on medium heat. On the highest heat setting, the Kiss is at 1,665 watts. At a price of $31 is this Shrate brand. They claim it has an 1,800 watt fast drying low noise blow dryer. The high-speed motor delivers up to 18,000 RPM. It has 1 speed control knob and 3 heat settings. They claim this hairdryer delivers strong wind for fast drying. Includes 3 different accessories. The Shrate is made in China. And the Shrate is the heaviest yet at 466 grams. And the Shrate is the loudest yet at 86.1 decibels. And the Shrate is at about 778 watts on low heat. And the Shrate is supposed to deliver 1,800 watts on the highest heat setting, and it only made it to just over 1,500 watts. At a price of $32 is this Wavytalk brand, up to 1,875 watts. They claim that their motor has advanced internal aerodynamics that ensure strong and steady airflow. They claim that it's very compact and lightweight. It's designed to automatically shut off when the temperature is too high. It's designed to reduce electromagnetic field radiation by more than 50%. 2 fan speeds and 3 different temperature settings. Includes 3 different attachments. Made in China. And is 446 grams for the Wavytalk. And the Wavytalk is pretty loud at 86.2 decibels. And the Wavytalk only made it to around 737 watts on the lowest heat setting. On the highest heat setting, 1,675 watts, or about 200 watts short of its rating. At a price of $40 is this Trezoro brand. It claims that it's a lightweight travel hairdryer. They claim the motor features Heat Pro technology, which reduces sound levels by up to 42%. 2 times more powerful at 2,200 watts. It has 2 different fan speeds and 3 different temperature settings. Includes 2 separate attachments. The Trezoro is made in China, and the Trezoro weighs 450 grams, and it's 83.2 decibels for the Trezoro. On the lowest heat setting, 253 watts and around 1,026 on medium heat. On the highest heat setting, only 1,667 watts, or about 500 watts less than advertised. At a price of $90 is this BaByLissPRO. It's a 2,000 watt blow dryer. They claim that it offers true ion generator for smooth and shiny results. 2 different fan speeds and 3 different heat settings. Nano titanium heat technology. The blow dryer comes with 1 attachment. Made in China. And is 442 grams for the BaByLissPRO. And the BaByLiss is right at 84 decibels. And the BaByLissPRO is at 1,270 watts on low heat and just over 1,800 watts on the highest heat setting. And that's by far the best yet. At a price of $115 is this Panasonic brand. It delivers 1,875 watts. Unlike the previous brands, the Panasonic has a back and forth moving nozzle. 2 fan speed settings, and 3 different heat settings. Includes 3 different attachments. The Panasonic is made in Thailand, and the Panasonic is the heaviest yet at 516 grams. And it's 83.7 decibels for the Panasonic. And the Panasonic is at around 978 watts on low heat. And the Panasonic came up short of its 1875 watt rating by just a little at 1,728. At a price of $200 is this Shark brand. They claim it measures and regulates temperature 1,000 times per second, never exceeding 230 degrees Fahrenheit. This is designed to prevent damage, which occurs at just over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It delivers up to 1,700 watts. It has 3 different fan speeds and 3 different heat settings. Includes 3 different accessories. The Shark is made in China, and the Shark is pretty light at only 416 grams. And this is a pretty noisy Shark at 88.2 decibels. And the Shark is at 983 watts on low heat and 1,323 on medium. On the highest heat setting, 1,643 watts is pretty close to a 1,700 watt rating. At a price of $430, the most expensive brand we'll be testing is the Dyson Supersonic. It delivers fast drying and no extreme heat. Intelligent heat control measures air temperature 40 times a second. They claim it has an airflow air multiplier technology that amplifies air by up to 3 times. The electric motor spins very quickly, up to 110,000 RPM, up to 1,600 watts of energy. The blow dryer includes 5 different attachments. The Dyson Supersonic is made in Mexico, and is 466 grams for the Dyson. And the Dyson is the least noisy air blower in the lineup at 82.3 decibels. And the Dyson is at 845 watts on the lowest heat setting and just over 1,200 watts on medium. On the highest heat setting, the Dyson is at 1,554, which is pretty close to its 1,600 watt rating. Blow dryer watts is a pretty big factor in blow dryer performance, and the BaByLissPRO came out on top at just over 1,800 watts. Panasonic finished in second at 1,728, and the Revlon 1,712 watts. Blow dryer weight can really tire out the arms. And the Kiss blow dryer is the lightest in the lineup at only 392 grams. The Shark is also pretty light at 416 grams, and the Revlon 422. And some of the blow dryers are very loud. Fortunately, on the highest fan speed, the Dyson makes the least amount of noise at only 82.3 decibels. The Kiss is almost as quiet at 82.4. The amount of heat delivered by blow dryers is a pretty big factor, but so is airspeed. So let's use an airspeed meter to measure the airspeed next. And the Revlon reached a peak airspeed of 16.57 miles per hour on low fan speed. On high fan speed, 22.74 miles per hour. And the Remington is outperforming the Revlon on the low fan speed setting at 21.2 miles per hour. On high fan speed, 30.1 miles per hour. And the Remington is blowing air just about as fast as a politician. And the Conair performed about the same as the Revlon on low fan speed at just over 17 miles per hour. On the highest fan speed, just over 24 miles per hour to move into second place behind the Remington. And the Kiss is moving quite a bit of air on the lowest fan speed at just over 19 miles per hour. And the Kiss barely moves into first place over the Remington at 30.54 miles per hour on high fan speed. And the Shrate moves a lot of air on low fan speed at 29.32 miles per hour. And the Shrate blows more hot air than a trumpet player in a jazz band at just over 38 miles per hour. And the Wavytalk is at just over 15 miles per hour on the lowest fan speed setting. And the Wavytalk made it to just about 25 miles per hour of airspeed on the highest fan speed. On the lowest fan speed setting, it's about 19 miles per hour for the Trezoro. On the highest fan speed, the air is moving at 27.6 miles per hour. And the BaByLissPRO performed better than average on low speed at just over 23 miles per hour. On high speed, this thing is moving quite a bit of air at just over 36 miles per hour. On the lowest fan speed, the Panasonic is moving air at 15.68 miles per hour. On the highest fan speed setting, 25.15 miles per hour is quite a bit slower than the Shrate or the BaByLissPRO. And the Shark is at 13.78 miles per hour on low speed. On high speed, the Shark has the highest airspeed yet at 39.45 miles per hour. Very impressive. And the Dyson claims to make 110,000 RPM, and it's moving a lot of air on low speed at just over 26 miles per hour. On high fan speed, the Dyson is moving air at just over 40 miles per hour. Very impressive. Airspeed has a big impact on efficiency at drying, and the Dyson is the fastest at just over 40 miles per hour of airspeed. Shark finished in second at 39.45, and the Shrate blow dryer 38.68 miles per hour. Blow dryers are used for a lot more things than just drying hair. So let's see how well the blow dryers perform at drying out a wet towel. A dry towel weighs 39 grams. I'll go ahead and saturate the towel with water, and then I'll wring out most of the water. And the saturated towel is right at 150 grams. So there's very close to 111 grams of water inside the towel. I'll try to place the blow dryers at 10 inches from the towel. I've also located a temperature probe very close to the center of the towel. And it didn't take long for the air temperature to reach 108 degrees Fahrenheit. At the end of the 2-minute test for the Revlon, the thermometer is showing 115 degrees. Unfortunately, the area in the direct path of the blow dryer is still pretty wet at almost 40% moisture content. The towel started off at 150 grams and it now weighs 129. So the blow dryer removed 21 grams of water. And the Remington is starting off with a towel that weighs 151 grams. And it didn't take long for the Remington to hit 130 degrees, and it's moving a lot more air than the Revlon. And the temperature made it up to 135 degrees at the end of the 2-minute test, and the towel is completely dry in the area that was in the direct path of the blow dryer. And the Remington towel now weighs 127 grams, that's 3 grams better than the Revlon. And the Conair's towel is starting off at 152 grams. And the Conair made it to 130 degrees pretty quickly, but the air temperature didn't become quite as hot as the Remington. Unfortunately, the Conair just doesn't move as much air as the Remington. And the towel is still pretty wet at almost 50% moisture content. And the Conair removed a total of 20 grams of water from the towel. The Kiss's towel is starting off at 152 grams. And the Kiss ran out of steam at just under 130 degrees throughout the test. After 2 minutes, the area of the towel in the direct path of the Kiss is still very wet at over 50% moisture content. And the Kiss moves into a two-way tie for third place with the Conair at 20 grams of moisture removal. And the Shrate's towel is starting off at 152 grams. And the Shrate makes a lot more airspeed than average, and that's going to really help on this test. And the air temperature is only making it up to about 115 degrees. And the area that's in the direct airstream of the Shrate looks very dry, and it's at only 5% moisture content. And the Shrate moves into a two-way tie with the Remington at 24 grams of moisture removal. And the Wavytalk's towel is starting off at 151 grams. And the Wavytalk is heating up the towel the most yet at 140 degrees. However, it's not moving nearly as much air as most of the other brands. Unfortunately, the towel is still pretty wet at over 40% moisture content. That's just too much Wavytalk and not enough action at only 132 grams or 19 grams of moisture loss. And the Trezoro's towel is starting off at 153 grams. And the blow dryer is making quite a bit of heat at close to 140 degrees. However, the Trezoro just does not move quite as much air as some of the other brands. And the towel is still pretty wet at around 38%. And the blow dryer removed right at 20 grams of water, or about 4 grams less than the top two brands. And the BaByLissPRO is starting off at 151 grams. And the thermometer is showing about 126 degrees of heat. And the BaByLissPRO does move quite a bit of air at around 36 miles per hour. And 28% moisture is better than most of the other brands. And the BaByLissPRO also performed better than average at 23 grams of moisture removal. And the Panasonic's towel is starting off at 151 grams. And the Panasonic just doesn't make as much airspeed as most of the other brands, and the thermometer is showing around 128 degrees. And the towel is still pretty wet at over 45% moisture content. And 20 grams of moisture removal is just about average. And the Shark's towel is starting off at 150 grams. And the Shark makes a lot of airspeed at around 39 miles per hour, but the thermometer is only showing 108 degrees. And the area of the towel that was in the direct path of the air is still pretty wet at over 40%. And the Shark really struggled on this test at only 18 grams of moisture removal. And the Dyson's towel is starting off at 152 grams. And the Dyson blows air faster than the competition, and the air is also pretty hot at close to 130 degrees. And you can actually see the towel completely dried out in the direct path of the windstorm at 1 minute into the test. And the moisture meter is showing that the towel is completely dry in the area of the towel that was in the direct path of the blow dryer. And the Dyson moves into the lead at 25 grams of moisture removal. Very impressive. So the Dyson did the best at 25 grams of moisture removal. Remington and Shrate also performed almost as well at 24 grams. And the moisture meter doesn't measure below 5%. So both the Remington and the Dyson did the best job at removing moisture in the driest area of the towel at less than 5%. Shrate performed almost as well at 5.1. In the next test, let's see how the blow dryers perform on a mannequin with 100% human hair. I'll first dip the hair in water, and then I'll allow 5 minutes for the water to drip away from the hair. I'll place the blow dryers approximately 4 inches away from the hair, and I'll aim the blow dryer towards the upper neckline. Once the test begins, the blow dryers will have right at 1.5 minutes to remove as much moisture as possible. The blow dryers will be on the highest fan speed and heat setting. With all of the blow dryers, I'll sample several areas to find the driest patch of hair. 90 seconds of time is up and the hair still looks pretty wet. And the driest sample of hair for the Revlon is around 31% moisture content. Compared to the Revlon blow dryer, the Remington moves a lot more air and the air is quite a bit warmer. And 90 seconds is up and the driest patch of hair is at 20.3% moisture content, which is pretty good. And the Conair just doesn't move air quite as quickly as the Remington. However, it does move more air compared to the Revlon. And the driest patch of hair for the Conair is at 25.5%, which is good enough to move into second place behind the Remington. And the Kiss makes quite a bit of airspeed just like the Remington. Unfortunately, the Kiss did struggle removing water from the towel, and it trails the Revlon on this test at 32.2% moisture content in the driest area of the hair. And the Shrate moves a lot of air at over 38 miles per hour, which should really help the water evaporate quickly. And the Shrate performed almost as well as the Remington for water evaporation from the towel, and it performed almost as well this time at 23.7% to move into second place behind the Remington. And the Wavytalk moves air at approximately 25 miles per hour on high speed, which is a little bit slower than average. And the Wavytalk struggled to remove water from the towel, and it also struggled to dry the hair at 48% moisture content. And the Trezoro moves the air a little bit quicker than the Wavytalk at around 27 miles per hour. And the extra airspeed did help the blow dryer remove moisture. 23.2% is about the same as the Shrate. And the BaByLissPRO makes a lot of airspeed at just over 36 miles per hour. And the BaByLiss performed better than average at drying out the towel, and it performed better than average on this test at 21.3%. The Panasonic delivers just over 1700 watts, but it doesn't move air as quickly as some of the other blow dryers at just over 25 miles per hour. And the Panasonic really struggled at drying out the towel, and it also struggled in this test at around 50% moisture. And the Shark moves air at a pretty high speed at just over 39 miles per hour. However, the Shark didn't make enough heat to efficiently remove moisture from the towel. However, it did perform well on this test at 24.3% moisture content. And the Dyson blows air at just over 40 miles per hour and makes quite a bit of heat, a great combination. And the Dyson performed extremely well at drying out the towel, and it did the best job yet at drying out the hair at 11.5% moisture content. So the Dyson came out on top once again, but the Remington finished in second at 20.3%. And several other brands also performed well at around 21 to 23%. Some of the blow dryers claim that they have less of an electronic magnetic field or EMF compared to other blow dryers. So let's test that next using this tester. The electric field is measured in volts per meter and the magnetic field is measured in microteslas. So let's measure the EMF from 6 inches from the blow dryer. And the meter is a little bit upset at 54 volts per meter and 0.56 microteslas. And the Remington's at 45 volts per meter and just under 1 microtesla. And the meter is pretty alarmed at the Conair at 46 volts per meter and 4.14 microteslas. And 36 volts per meter is the best yet, but 4.68 microteslas is the worst yet for the Kiss. And the Shrate did even better than the Kiss for volts per meter at 29, but the magnetic field is the strongest yet at 5.38. And the Wavytalk performed well for volts per meter, but the alarm is triggered at 1.34 microteslas. And the Trezoro has done by far the best yet at only 33 volts per meter and 0.04 microteslas. And the BaByLiss performed well for volts per meter, but 2.7 microteslas set off the alarm on the meter. And the Panasonic is at 64 volts per meter and 0.14 microteslas. The Shark performed better than average at 40 volts per meter and 0.94 microteslas. And the Dyson's at 49 volts per meter and the second highest at 5.16 microteslas. When it comes to ergonomics, the length of the barrel on the blow dryer makes a huge difference. A blow dryer with a short barrel allows one to maintain a safe distance from the hair without tiring out the arms. And the Dyson has a barrel length of only 1.5 inches. The Shrate is also well designed at 2.25 inches and Shark 2.75 inches. The length of the power cord can sometimes be an issue, and the BaByLissPRO and Dyson have the longest power cords at 8.7 feet. Panasonic is at 8.5 and Shark 8.3 feet. So which blow dryer is best? The blow dryers are organized from least expensive to most expensive. The information is also categorized based upon ergonomics, safety, and performance. If it's all about value, the Remington performed very well for around $19. While the ergonomics are definitely not the best, it is a relatively quiet blow dryer and it outperformed most of the more expensive brands. If you're willing to spend a little bit more, the Shrate performed very well. It offers much better ergonomics compared to the Remington, but it is pretty loud. On the other hand, it did earn A's in 3 out of 4 performance categories. And the Dyson definitely falls into the buy once, cry once category at over $400. However, it is in a league of its own, earning A's for ergonomics and noise. It also earned A's in all performance categories. Now that I know which hairdryer is best, I can finally have some hair like Bob Ross. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested. So if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care and look forward to next time.